Bin Sheikh, bin Sadiq, and bin Amin. Let's talk about it.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about all of the bin series, which basically means son of. So we've got Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances, one of which is called bin Amir, which means prince, so son of the prince. And then you've got bin Sadiq, which I'm assuming is son of happiness, Sadiq or Sadiq. I'm not sure. Don't quote me for that one in specific. And I'm not a scholar of Arabic, okay? But anyways, this is also called bin Sheikh. And Sheikh is like the person who is like scholar, if you will, or one who leads prayers, etc. So the first thing that you're going to notice about this whole series is the presentation is relatively similar, if not the same. They all come in this exact same, actually, bottle style. However, they do have slight variances within the juice color, the cap color, the accent colors, and yeah, that's pretty much it. However, the bottle, what's common with all of these is that the bottle quality is extremely high. This is a very heavy glass. It's polished. It's a nice gloss finish as well, and they all have these engravings in them with the same accented diamond style pattern. Atomizer on all of these is pressurized, high quality atomizer, and the cap is a heavy metal that slides onto place, and it's there snug, but I wouldn't really recommend lifting it by the cap, although I just did, and it did just fine. I just wouldn't recommend it, especially with these fragrances. So Ahmed Al Maghribi is known to have higher end fragrances in the whole realm of Middle Eastern, more affordable realm of fragrances. These are going to be like their sort of luxury lineup of fragrances, and they absolutely are justified in that scent profile. There is a lot of talk about these, but there really isn't too much of a breakdown or in comparison to a lot of other brands like Latafa, etc., and I think these deserve it. Price range for these fragrances include anywhere from $65 to $130. If you find it for $65, that's a steal of a deal. Grab it, because these are absolutely niche quality. I find Ahmed Al Maghribi to have fragrances similar to the style or a category of fragrances similar to the category of something like Parfums de Marly. Parfums de Marly, in my opinion, it is a niche category, but it's kind of something in between, bridging the gap of designer along with that niche territory. Basically meaning it has designer-esque style fragrances done in a niche fashion, niche quality per sense. And that's kind of what these do, Ahmed Al Maghribi, except they bridge the gap between more affordable Middle Eastern fragrances and niche fragrances as well. So they do what they do in an excellent fashion, one of the best ways. You're gonna get what you're paying for with a lot of Ahmed. Actually, you get more than what you're paying for with a lot of Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances. So let's go ahead and start off with the most popular. It's gonna be bin Sheikh. All of these come in this very nice presentation, which I don't have on hand. However, I did an unboxing for all of these in one of my previous videos, and a lot of previous videos for Ahmed Al Maghribi, which I've been talking about for quite some time, for about 2 years, I would say, or at least a year and a half now. Bin Sheikh is the first one we're talking about, and it's got notes at the top of saffron, rose, oak moss, citrus, and lavender. And in the base, we've got notes of sugar, bakhur, jasmine, orchid violet. And in the base, it's oud, amber, white musk, ambroxan, and patchouli. Basically, what you get with this fragrance is this dominant oud patchouli based fragrance with a lot of saffron. There are some other underlying notes like the ambroxan, the white musk, etc. And the ambroxan is really going to turn this one into an extreme performing fragrance, because that's exactly what this one in particular is. This one reminds a lot of people, including myself, of fragrances like Initio's Oud for Greatness, except it's a bit raunchier than that. If I'm being honest, it seems like it packs a little bit more of a punch than Oud for Greatness. It definitely has those similarities because of a lot of the similar notes, along with that saffron oud and earthy combination, which Oud for Greatness does as well, except this one has more emphasis on something of patchouli. So it's a more earthy take, a bolder take on that whole DNA. And if I'm being honest, which I always am, but if I'm being honest with this particular one, I personally get a more authentic quality oud. I can actually sense the oud oil in this fragrance per se. It could potentially be that they use maybe 1% or less more oud in this fragrance, which, believe it or not, is significant enough to change the scent profile, because that's a lot of oud, especially in the essential oud oil or a real oud oil concentration. So that's what it smells like to me. It smells like oud for greatness with more real oud and emphasized on that patchouli. Longevity for something like this is all day. Quality is A+, 10+ hours on this. It's to the next day very easily, like with a lot of other Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances. I'm not gonna say it's the case with all of them, but this one in particular definitely is. The scent profile of this, you get that saffron oud patchouli combination in the air, some of that rose undertone, and a little bit of the refinement from the florals also in the mid, the jasmine, etc. It is a little bit sugary, but predominantly you're gonna get that incense, saffron, oud, rose combination with that patchouli. The biggest difference is the oud quality. This one, I sense more real oud than Initio's Oud for Greatness. So if you like that DNA, this is the cream of the crop when it comes to that DNA. A+ on bin Sheikh. Sheikh. Regal, it definitely does eat oud for greatness, in my opinion, better. Better doesn't always correlate with price tag, you guys. Sometimes the price tag, you're paying for a certain quality control, which I can respect, and you're also paying for a name, which I also can, to a certain degree, respect as well. These people have quality control maxed out. Like Ahmed Al Maghribi is a brand that has quality control, has quality as well, that exceeds its price tag in this one. As long as this one stays in that same relative price tag, you definitely smell like money with that one. And I would say the scent profile DNA, for my taste, I enjoy this one more because of that more authentic oud. You like oud for greatness? You want something a little bit more naturalistic oud smelling? Go with Bin Sheikh. Quite different from Anisha's oud for greatness. It does have more of this bakhur, incensey, patchouli, earthy vibe, but just to get a sense of where this one goes, it absolutely treads in that category or family of fragrances like oud for greatness. There are a lot of oud for glory, etc. So at what point do you be like, okay, do I really need this? Do I need to pay it for more? This is enough of a difference to definitely justify the purchase of this. It is miles above something like oud for glory and anything that's in that cheapy territory. You get quality. The same quality of like something of the patchouli and Carlisle. That standard quality is something like I get in here. So there you go. That's what I think about Bin Sheikh. Definitely one of the better ones and the most mass appealing of these three, although it's not really the most mass appealing DNA. It's the most recognized, I should say, not mass appealing. I don't think it's that much of a safe blind buy. However, this next one we're going to be talking about is more of a safe blind buy, in my opinion, and it actually is one of the most underrated fragrances from the whole lineup, from the whole brand, in my opinion. And this is called Sadiq by Ahmed Al Maghribi. So this has a little bit lighter accents. It's got the silver rather than the gold or copper, whatever color it is. Same bottle presentation, etc. This is a tropical fragrance, which I was not expecting at all. I absolutely loved rocking this fragrance. It smelled like a melody of like tropical fragrances with a blend of coconut and some florals. This is a creamy, coconutty, tropical fragrance. It's more than just a coconut fragrance. There's a lot of creamy coconut fragrances in the world of those, though. This has to be the more fruity, melodic type of fragrances where it's more than just coconut. So the atomizer on this is also just as good, pressurized, but that's what you get, you guys. It's basically this tropical, crisp, at the same time creamy, coconutty, tropical fruits and sandalwood fragrance with some of those white florals. The ylang ylang does add this or contributes a yellow floral nuance to this one as well, which I solely contribute to the fact that this is perfectly unisex. Ladies, you could easily rock this one, but gentlemen, don't let that shy you away because you can easily rock it too. It was a fun fragrance. I absolutely loved rocking this. I got about 7 to 8 hours out of this fragrance, but I could smell myself for the first like 3 hours pretty well. After that 3-hour mark, it came in a little bit closer to the skin. It was more of a scent bubble up until the 7 to 8 hour mark. In its realm, it's excellent. It's tropical, it's fruity, it's vanillic, it's creamy woods and coconut. You can't go wrong. This is an excellent fragrance that I'm going to be rocking a lot of on vacations, etc. It genuinely made me feel good. So if you like fragrances, much more interesting. I was going to say like musk therapy. It's much more interesting, kind of in a different, it is in a different realm, but it has that similar creamy, frothy, white, musky nature along with much more than just that because of all of those fruits, etc. So does go in a different realm, but just the whole mood that musk therapy puts me in, this one puts me in a very similar realm. But that's the caliber of these fragrances. They tread in that niche territory and quality of fragrances. Last but not least is going to be Bin Amir. So I don't know which one's copper and which one's gold, but they're not the same colors. Bin Amir is a whole different category of fragrances, and this one is all about the amber, rose, and oud. This surprisingly smells close to Roja's Amber Oud. Yeah, the $350 plus fragrance. That's what this one smells like. Although the difference, like I said with Bin Sheikh, the oud in here smells, actually no, it's not really that much of a difference. I have to give credit where credit is due. Amber Oud by Roja does smell like a lot of natural ingredients. It doesn't mean that I'm the biggest fan of that fragrance. When I initially smelled it, I really did not enjoy it. However, I've lived with the sample that I purchased, the 5 ml sample. I've started to appreciate it, and now it's actually growing a little bit on me. I'm respecting it for what it does. It's this agarwood, natural Hindi oud oil, along with some of that rose, and I get a yellow floral type of quality. So Bin Amir, while it's not the perfect amber oud inspired by it, definitely treads in that category or family of fragrances. Oudy, ambery with some florals, along with that high quality smell and without really the high quality or price tag, I should say. With the increase in price tag on this one, you're gonna sense it in the quality and performance for the fragrance because it also lasts all day up into the next day. Like I initially said, I'm not the biggest fan on Roja's Amber Oud, but this one I tolerated and actually enjoyed wearing a little bit more. There are some subtle differences differences. It focuses a little bit more on some of those white florals along with the top of those fruits, etc., making it a bit more enjoyable for me personally, without actually going too head first into some white floral, without going too head first into some of that animalic amber and oud combination. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the top 3, or the 3 bin fragrances from Ahmed Al Maghribi. Some of their best fragrances. Sadiq has to be my favorite one out of them all. The most regal of them all is going to be bin Sheikh. This is a unisex fragrance that I think is phenomenal. Ladies, you do have to enjoy patchouli, oud for greatness type of vibes. It's for women who enjoy darker, earthier fragrances. I think it's absolutely going to smell better on a man for sure. And Sadiq is even more unisex than something like that. This one is going to be unisex, treading in a perfectly unisex category, while this one does absolutely lean more masculine. But there are some women that still do enjoy wearing fragrances like that, like Haltain by Parfums de Marly, etc. For those who enjoy that, that's going to be a good one. And Roja's Amber Oud, I find it to be unisex as well. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.